Welcome back, y'all.
Yep. You made it. Another week.
Me? We did this last week, didn't we?
Probably.
Okay. Today, I want to talk about gift giving and Christmas.
Such a stressful time.
With your stepkids. David bought his kids. I bought my kid. I would buy his kids a few things. Nothing major.
Yeah. Mostly what you bought was like the stocking stuffer stuff.
Right.
That's hard to say.
Stocking stuffer stuff. Yeah. So we see it a lot of times. A step parent is usually the one, a stepmom, that buys all the Christmas presents.
Mm-hmm.
And then the kids open the presents. They're not grateful. They get mad. It's this whole mess. Right?
Yep.
So we suggest if it causes you stress or if a not stellar response, is that right?
Sure.
Not stellar response or unstellar response, I guess, is going to upset you, then let the bio parent buy their gifts.
Yeah. I'll tell you how I handled it. And I think I started doing this even before you and I got together because it took a lot of the stress of Christmas off, which was I would literally sit down with my kids like September 1st. And I said, I need you to start making a list of things you want for Christmas. And there was no necessary guidelines around it. Like I didn't say it needs to be under a certain amount or anything. I just needed a list to pull from.
Mm-hmm.
And so from September to October, so they had a month. From September to October, they would start gathering up their list. Like, I don't care what it is, just put anything you want. I don't care how crazy it is, whatever. But I need at least 10 things on your list. Because the more they put on the list, the more options it gave me to look for.
Mm-hmm.
Then, starting in October, I would start shopping. And me being a bargain hunter, I would look for places that I could get it cheaper. Sometimes it would be eBay. Sometimes it would be other places or whatever. But I would look for those things. Because some of the things they were asking for, I knew if I wait till November or December, these things are going to go up in price. And so I want to get them early. And so I would do that. And sure enough, some of the things they wanted would run out during the holidays. You couldn't find them. But I would do that. That way honestly, by Black Friday, 1st of December, I was done.
Mm-hmm.
While everybody else is out there fighting the crowds, I'm already done.
Right.
And question I often got was, well, what if it's on a sale for Black Friday or Cyber Monday? Well, the places will typically take it back if you got the receipt, and they'll give you the full refund at the receipt value. So just buy it at the discounted price and the other one back and get your money back. Mm-hmm. Or sometimes they're just price match it or whatever. But I never got caught into a situation where I paid too much for it.
Right. And I don't know that we ever discussed, David, you're going to buy your kids Christmas and I'll buy my kid
No,
Christmas.
because we were already doing that.
Right. So we just kind of kept doing what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I didn't set myself up for disappointment because I didn't buy their gifts.
Yeah.
If I would have bought their gifts and they wouldn't have been happy or appreciative or said thank you, then I would have felt bad.
Yeah.
But by me not being involved in that, I didn't set myself up for disappointment.
No. I never put it on you or expected you to buy their gifts. You never expected me to buy your son's gifts. And it just worked out that way.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, before we got married, even before we were dating, that's how we handle things anyway. Like I bought my kids stuff, you bought your kids stuff.
Right.
And then when we got married, that didn't change. We just kept it that way.
Right. And we had joint finances. So it's not like it was your money buying your kids or my money buying my kids. Mm-hmm. It was our money.
Now, what we did do is we had an amount we agreed upon. Mm-hmm. And we stuck with that amount. But that's no different. Again, it's no different when we weren't together. Before we met, there was a set amount that I spent on my kids. Again, you've got one, I have four. So
and he's like, I spend $25 on my kids for Christmas. I'm like, well, I'm spending $100 on mine. It ain't my fault you got four.
Yeah, I don't think it was 25, but yeah, I wish it was 25. And then you also got, let's talk about this, and maybe your conversation is going to go here anyway, but there's often a competition maybe between the houses of what they get. And sometimes what would happen, it didn't happen to us necessarily, but there's a thing where, well, what is your dad getting you? Because I want to get you something better. Or what is your mom getting you? Because I want to get you something better. Mm-hmm. And it becomes this competition. Or you may even feel like it's a competition. Like
I said for the birthday. It was like,
I get my kid a new pair of shoes and mom gets him a new car.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a crazy dichotomy, but if that's the right word. But we have seen people do things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are people that I took my kid to Paris for the week.
Well, I know, and I've seen this more than once. Somebody will plan to take their child to Disney. So say you were planning to take your kids to Disney. Now, we don't need to know that y'all went to Disney every year when they were younger, but just you're a normal person. You're not a Disney freak. And you decide to take your kid to Disney.
Right.
And you plan it for April.
Right.
Well, Bio Mom comes up and she's taking them to Disney in March.
Yeah. I'm going to take them first.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know with my son, there were a lot of times that I wanted to have the first with him. I wanted to be the first to take him to the zoo. I wanted to be the first to take him to the movie. I wanted to do all that stuff. But when your parents are split, that's really not something you can always do or control. Yeah. And
you wanted the first to do stuff with me. Why did you care about doing it with him?
And so anyway, I had to tell myself whether it's his first time ever, doesn't matter. It's his first time with me.
Right, right.
And one thing I want to talk about is sales. Okay, so say that you said you were going to spend, just for an even number, $200 on each kid.
Okay.
And one thing that Ethan wanted was normally $200, but it was on sale for $40.
Mm-hmm.
So now you've spent $40. You've got $160 if you stick to your $200 thing.
Right.
And the other kids are going to be like, well, wait a minute. His gift was $200. We know it was $200. Why did he get more? Mm-hmm. So do you go by, and I know this sounds crazy, but do you go by the sale price that you got the item at, or do you go by the full value of what it would normally be?
Are you asking me what I did?
What you would do?
Well, I can tell you what I would do because this is what I did. I considered the amount of money I spent.
Right. So if you got it for $40, then they just lucked out and got more presents.
Yes.
Right.
Yep. That's the way I did it. I'm spending X amount on you. If I get a better deal on it somewhere, then you got lucky.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's talk about in-laws and Christmas. We've talked about this before. When you and I got married, all of a sudden, instead of, just one grandkid from me, my parents had 5 from me.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, now my dad's on Social Security. Mm-hmm. Say we just got married last year. He was normally giving Jackson $100 for Christmas. Now it's, oh my gosh, need to give these kids $500. Or do I take the $100 and split it up between all of them?
Right.
To be fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's unrealistic to expect your parents or the in-laws, because most of them are retired, living on Social Security or whatever.
Yep.
It's not fair to expect them to spend that much more money on kids. In fact, I think you're putting a burden on your parents or your in-laws.
Yeah.
So one thing that we had talked about was, okay, Dad, you normally give Jackson $100, and now there's 4 of them or 5 of them. So how about we give you $400? Mm-hmm. So you can still give Jackson his 100. You're not out any more than you normally would be. And we cover the additional.
Right.
That way it's quote, quote, fair between all the kids. They don't think that Papa's giving one more than the other, but Papa's not the one having to.
We supplemented it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one way to do it. I mean, I can even think in just a biological nuclear family, we had those issues. Like I remember my grandparents, they'd always give the kids stuff. And when the grandkids come along, they started giving the grandkids stuff. Well, typically the way math works, you end up having a lot more grandkids than kids. And I can remember telling my grandmother, like, stop buying stuff. It's okay. Now, I know she did it because she wanted to. But when every grandkid is coming back with 2, 3, 4 of their own kids, everybody's getting something, but they're getting such a minimum gift that I had to tell my kids, they're getting you what they can get you, and they're doing it because they love you.
Right.
Like, I don't want you, because it's hard sometimes to get a 5, 6-year-old to understand, this is the reason why you're getting a pencil.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that bad, but still,
no, it wasn't that bad. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're getting something that's not as fantastic as everybody else. It's not what you get. It's that they thought about you enough to buy something for you.
Right.
And they're doing it out of love. So I never had that problem. I do recall, a little side quest here. I do recall one year when I was a kid, I did something similar to that, where I wanted what my cousin got from my grandparents. And I don't know how old I was. I probably couldn't have been more than 7 or 8. But I just remember me going, I don't want this. I want that one. It's such an ungrateful little brat.
Mm-hmm.
And so my grandparents was like, yeah, I can take it back and get you another one. And then my mom was like, no, how about he doesn't get anything, And so I was like, no, I think I'll keep what I got.
Yeah. Thanks, Grandma.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you as a little side note. So my Mama Brown, she always got us all Christmas presents. And one year she got me these bedroom shoes that were really furry on the inside. Yeah, I can tell you exactly what these things look like. So they were furry on the inside, and they had like the brown suede looking stuff on the outside, but they were clogs.
With a stitch running down the middle?
Yes. And they were like clogs though. And so they had a little heel, which, I was young. So it's like, oh yeah, that's cool. And the heel was that hard plastic,
right?
But I didn't like them. And I was raised not to lie. And so my mama said, Lori B, you like those? I said, nope. I didn't know it hurt her feelings. I was just being honest, right?
Yeah.
And next year after that, we all started getting money.
Yeah.
She's like, screw this. I'm getting no money.
Yeah. Don't ask questions. If there's a potential, you might get an answer you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And I remember one year with your mom and the kids, it always seemed, your kids are all the same age. So we couldn't compare what Jackson got and what they got.
Right.
Because there was a 5-year difference between him and the triplets.
Mm-hmm.
But we could have easily sat there and been like, oh no, your mama and daddy spent $15 more on your kids than mine.
Yeah.
Why would we do that though?
No, we didn't.
And I remember one year when Avery and Kay came back from Japan, they had missed, I don't know how many Christmases.
Right.
And so that Christmas was like, just an abundance of stuff for Kay and Avery.
It's probably everything that had been saved over the years.
Well, but I think everybody there, because I'd talked to other people in the family, and I was like, that was nice, but that just wasn't the appropriate place.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody was sitting there watching them open presents for 45 minutes. And then the other kids get like 2 presents.
Yeah.
So, you don't have to not get them those things, but just don't publicize it, I guess.
Well, you can, and we had to do this too, but you can give gifts at a different time. Mm-hmm. So sometimes we would have gifts where it's like, we're going to give you this gift while the stepkids are away. Mm-hmm. And then when we all get together, we got these other gifts so that, if you got Jackson more for whatever reason, then it's like, here's the ones you're going to open while my kids are not there.
Mm-hmm. And then when they would come back, Jack go, look what my mommy got me.
Yeah. And I had to have conversations with my kids sometimes because they would ask, like, why is he getting this and why is he getting that? And I'm like, well, you're getting stuff at your mom's, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, his mom's here. So you're seeing that. He doesn't see what you get from your mom, but you see what he gets from his mom. And they're like, oh. Mm-hmm. So
Well, and then they would ask Jackson when he came back from his dad's what he got at his dad's. And Jackson would be like, pair of Wranglers, pair of boots, whatever. And they're like, oh.
Yeah. So, it worked out. But yeah, they see that it's not quote unquote fair. And sometimes you have to explain why it looks like that way. And then sometimes we would supplement things, like if my parents was going to buy something for Jackson or even wasn't. I never assumed they were. Mm-hmm. I always said, if you want to get something for my kids or Jackson or whatever, I'll give you the money to do that. Mm-hmm. And because, again, I don't want to put that burden on them to say you have to buy something for these kids or the stepkids or whatever else.
Well, nobody should go in debt buying gifts.
No.
And especially elderly people. Mm-hmm. They are on a limited income.
Or anybody on a limited income.
Well, anybody nowadays.
Yeah. I heard one of my kids the other day said, everybody's getting a hug for Christmas.
Yeah.
So
that's what I can afford. I'm
like, that's fine. Don't go out and go crazy. Like you said, don't be running up your credit card debt and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, my funness thing that we do is game night, Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
That's more fun to me than opening presents. But I do enjoy the Chinese gift exchange or whatever it is.
Yeah, we'll get like a $20 gift or something like that. And so you figure every family, if it's two, you spent $40. Mm-hmm. So instead of buying everybody a $20 gift, and you're going to spend $500, you just spend $40.
And then you throw your number in the pot.
Yep.
Pick a number and
draw a number.
Fight over them. And
I'm sure most of you play the game.
Yeah, and it's funny because David's mama always gets stuff like out of her pantry. And so instead of fighting for the gift, we fight not to get that gift.
Yep.
Everybody's like, oh, look, you can have the pantry item.
Until the year that we had the toilet paper.
That COVID year, toilet paper, paper towels, everybody was fighting over them. Yeah. Yep.
It is funny to watch because it's, our kids and my sister's kids and all that, they're at that age where they're either in dorms or they're moving out and getting their own place and all that. And so now they're starting to want the cleaning supplies and the food and the stuff like that.
The spam.
Yeah. Years before they didn't want it. Now they're like, oh, yeah, we'll take that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And one thing, too, and you touched on this briefly, was it doesn't have to be on the day.
All right.
We had opposite schedules with our kids at Christmas most of the time.
Yep.
Because I alternated every other year. You didn't. Yours was more of a set schedule. And so there were times that the week before Christmas, we had Santa come.
Yep.
There were times that 3 days after Christmas is when Santa came.
Yep.
So I remember when I went to court and they're like, okay, Dad will get every other year the week before Christmas, blah, blah, blah. I remember thinking, well, then I can't have Christmas Eve traditions. And then I was like, yes, I can. Those traditions can just be my Christmas Eve, not necessarily the 24th. If I need to do it on the 26th, that'll be my Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times before we got married, when Jackson would come back from his dad's Christmas Day, that would be my Christmas Eve with him.
Okay.
Because that way I could still keep up with those traditions.
Right.
And I also know that when we got married, the first Christmas, your kids were putting lights on a tree, a ceramic tree that you had painted when you were younger. And Jackson wanted to help because he always wanted to be included. And one of your kids said, no, this is our tree. And I'm like, ooh.
I'll get you your own tree.
Yeah, don't you worry, baby. We're going to go buy you a forest. And so I remember trying to get Jackson to go do something else. Mm-hmm. And Jackson's like, no, I'm going to be up in this. So he just sits there. He just ignored them. And he just kept putting lights on that tree because he was like, you ain't kicking me out. But you can have two trees. You can make new traditions. You can keep your old ones. If David and his kids decorated their tree with the popcorn and the tinsels and I decorated mine with glass ornaments, we could still have two trees.
Yeah.
You don't have to completely get rid of your traditions.
Nope. It's all about trying to figure out what's going to work best for everybody.
Right.
You don't want to change everything, but you do want to change some things. Mm-hmm. And you just want to figure out what works. And moving the schedule around, to me, was the biggest no-brainer. Like, let's not fight over the fact that my kids aren't going to be there or your kid's not going to be there and we're going to have different Christmases and all that. Let's just move the entire day instead of trying to work around everybody's schedule.
Yeah, because if we did Santa, then with your kids, Jackson would come and then he would have to do his Santa. and your kids were leaving. It was too much.
I mean, we do that in other areas of family stuff. Like, if we can't get together before Christmas, then we get together after Christmas.
I remember one year I got together with my family in February for Christmas because something happened.
I know.
Yeah.
And it's just like, move the day. Okay. Easy peasy.
Because it really should be about what Christmas is about.
Yep.
And Christmas is not about, it's got to be on this day. It's got to be at this time. It's got to be perfect. You know, I think some of my best memories are the most messed up Christmases. Not the ones that were close to perfect. You know where I'm going.
Yeah.
So one year, David's family Christmas turned into a redneck Christmas party. There was a fist fight.
Yep. And it wasn't over a present either.
No, and it was like a 60-year-old man and a 30-year-old kid. That was what was even crazier.
Yeah.
But I also remember that, and it's funny because I remember when I had a pair of white boots I got for Christmas. White leather boots. You know, this was one of the big things I wanted for Christmas. And they tied in the back and they were so cute. And my stupid sister decides to go outside, and it had been raining, and we live where there's clay. Mm-hmm. So there was red clay. And she comes back in and steps on my boot.
Ooh.
Fist fight. Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.
I see a pattern here. You, fist fights, and Christmas.
No. That was your family.
You were there.
Well, also, even in nuclear families, there is unfairness, we will say. My grandmother loved my sister. My grandmother, she would bring Dawn 20 presents. I'm not kidding. And me one.
Wow.
You'd have all these presents laid out for Dawn, her peaches. And then she'd go, yours is there. Yeah.
See?
And my mama
told like Cinderella.
My mama told me, keep your mouth shut and be grateful for what you got. Rather than telling her mama, this isn't fair. You shouldn't do this.
Wow.
It was keep your mouth shut and be grateful for what you have.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Good thing she never asked me what I thought about her and her presents.
Well, now it all makes sense.
Why? Oh, Lord. What? What makes sense?
You are defending the injustice.
Of what?
Of yourself.
By how?
Because you were treated unjustly as a kid, and therefore you defend the unjust treatment of others now.
That's what it is, ain't it?
Yep.
So on a side note, Dave and I have talked about this, and he told me one day, this was recently.
A few months ago, maybe a year ago.
He said, you cannot stand to see injustice towards others, but you won't stand up for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Which is exactly what you were just taught.
Right.
In that story.
Yep. That explains it. All these years I've wondered.
See? Well, welcome to the live therapy session, folks.
Yeah, but that makes sense, right? I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't. It drives me crazy to see injustice.
Yep.
And I'm trying to do better about standing up for myself. But I don't even want to go there. But like at your mama's funeral,
mm-hmm.
You know, people standing up there cussing at each other and everybody's just sitting there and I'm like, hang on a minute. Like, I don't care if y'all boot me out or what. It wasn't a thought process. It was a reaction. And I do have those reactions. And that explains why.
Yep.
Thank you, Dr. David.
You are very welcome. See my bill.
Now I'm going to call my daddy and fuss at him for something.
It's your fault.
Be like, why didn't you ever tell Nana don't be doing that crap?
Now you know.
Now we know. So, what problems do you have with Christmas? Think back to your childhood. But really, David, I never thought about that. And I'm sure that if I told you 20 other stories, you'd be like, oh, yeah, see, that falls in the same category.
Probably.
That's like me telling on my sister for smoking and I got a whooping for being a tattletale.
Your whole life.
Yeah.
Your whole life is about injustice.
That explains it. I got to go do some work. All right. Y'all make Christmas fun and happy.
Yep.
It's not going to be the Hallmark holiday. It's not going to be perfect. Somebody's not going to be happy. Make the best of it.
Mm-hmm.
And nacho the crap that causes you stress.
Yep. Do that.
Yep. Oh, more importantly, buy yourself something.
Yep. That's one thing that we've always done, really. I think like I let you buy whatever. No, I let you, but I let you meaning you get me off the hook. So you buy whatever you want for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, this is what you got me.
And then I wrap it up and open it under the tree and I'm like,
yeah.
oh, wow.
Yeah. So for me, it's like, it's great because you always get exactly what you want.
Yes. And that way you don't have to worry about spending money on something you don't.
Now, I will say I always get you something anyway.
Yeah. So, usually.
Is it usually or always?
Usually.
I have to work on that then.
But sometimes I struggle with what to get you too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you and I both, I've always been of the mindset, like, you don't have to just give me whatever you want. I don't care. You don't have to give me anything at all. Like we're doing stuff for each other throughout the year. Like I just want to spend time with you and, enjoy time together. I don't care about the gift because chances are if it's $25 gift, either I've already bought it for myself
or you didn't want it.
Or I didn't want it anyway, or you already bought it for me or whatever. It's like something like that. But
I'd rather take the money and use it to buy like pizza Christmas Eve and have the family game night Christmas Eve party.
Yeah. Or, my sister's big on this. She's big on let's don't buy gifts, let's buy experiences. And I think that's a fantastic idea.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do that often, but I think that's a fantastic idea.
And I know some people do, I'm going to mess this up, one want, one need, and something to read or something like that. It's like they only do like 3 gifts at Christmas.
Or figure out, okay, if me and my wife spend $100 a piece on each other, then go out and, spend that $200 helping another family or something like that.
Yeah.
There's lots and lots you can do. I mean, we got our kids involved one year in doing, like they were packing bags to give.
They hated it.
Give like fruit and stuff.
Remember, it was my birthday present. I said, for my birthday, I want y'all to go do this.
Yeah.
And they hated it. The pictures we have, they're like.
Yeah. They were, I don't know, they were probably 12, 13-ish.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They didn't want to do it, but they did. They packed the bags full of fruit and canned goods and for the needy and all that kind of stuff. But, just give back. And that's not just a Christmas thing, honestly. You should make the world a better place every single day in some way, just a little bit. You don't have to be Mother Teresa, but just leave every person and everything better than you found it that day.
Well, David, let's analyze this real fast before we get off here. So when I was little, we just analyzed some stuff and figured out what's wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
My mom did Christmas for needy children.
Okay.
So she would call the school, get a list of names.
Mm-hmm.
And so our kid playroom was slap full of presents. I'm talking thousands of dollars back in the day.
Wow.
Of gifts. And my papa would dress up as Santa Claus and go to these kids' houses.
Wow.
Well, one of the kids was in my classroom and I couldn't tell him. I couldn't tell him. But when we got back to school, the teacher's like, how was your Christmas? He's like, this white Santa Claus came to my house and, whatever. And I still remember his name and everything. But that was better for me to see than any present I got. Was to know that these kids that didn't get anything, they weren't going to get anything.
Yeah.
That they got a coat or they got a Lego set or whatever it was. So see if there's somewhere local that you can maybe help. They have angel trees everywhere.
Yeah, we always do that. We always find some places doing that. Or, if you're buying something at Walmart, pick up that extra gift. And as you go out, they usually have a Toys for Tots or something. You can throw a gift in there. So
in churches, our church has something online that you can click and choose the age of the kid you want to get. And I struggle with that because I want to get every one of them. Yeah. All
right. So anyway, we hope some of this helps you throughout the holiday. We'll probably talk more about the holidays as we approach it. But
I can't believe it's almost Christmas.
Yeah. Anyway, if you're on YouTube, you're watching us, comment below. Let us know some of the things that you've done to help improve your blended family situation for the holidays so everybody else can read how you're handling it successfully. Or if you have other questions or comments, post them below. If you're listening to the podcast, thanks for listening. Go over to the YouTube channel. Like it, share it, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Yep.
And until next time, remember, life is good
when you nacho.